thing dey the street dey hawk. Still dem talk say make we no talk, but thank God say Mayegun don come. So my people make you loud oh yo yo, Mayegun don come oh yo yo. My people make you shout oh yo yo, Mayegun don come oh yo yo. Mayegun don come, man of the masses. Oh yo yo, Mayegun don come oh yo yo. Mayegun diary politico. Oh yo yo, Mayegun don come oh yo yo. This man not dey off him mind.
Hello there.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ dódódódó. Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one.
Good morning to you, good afternoon to you, and good evening to you from wherever you are watching from. This is Mayegun Live.
Mayegun ti dé o, ọ̀rẹ́ ara yìí. Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one. Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube. Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one.
Thank you so much for joining me. Share this broadcast. Invite your friends, invite your not so friendly friends, and tell them that Mayegun today.
Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one. Ó bá ṣe àní Mayegun máa wí. Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one. Ó sì tún ṣe wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one.
So for a moment, I want you to, if you are watching me from Nigeria, I want you to let us all drop all pretenses now. Okay, drop all the pretense. How is Nigeria to you right now? The cost of living, as the cost of everything is now kind of going up and up and up, you know, that one is reality. Every other thing that you kind of present on social media, let's leave that for a moment too. How is it going? The Shege.
Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì, Mayegun ti dé. Mayegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì, Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì.
Leave banter, okay? Leave enemy this, enemy that. How much are you paying currently for the food stuff? How much are you paying for your transportation? How much are you spending? As in, what is life like right now? Because remember, may this Tinubu period favor my family. May this Tinubu time favor me and my family. How much of the favor is your family enjoying right now? Just be honest, okay? Don't worry. We can do banters later. Share this broadcast.
Mayegun ti dé. Mayegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì.
To those of you who are living abroad, the Abroadian Buhari idiots, the Abroadian, Lagos Abobakus, and even those of you who are not even like Buhari Deans or whatever, all of you who are abroad. In the last 3 weeks, how has it been like? Because Kolu has been making announcements. They have been sacking people. They have been, DSS have been arresting and all of that. Some good news for the impoverished, oppressed Nigerians. Tell me, well, how has it been for you? Have you noticed any difference? Up or down from the demand from your people back in Nigeria in the last 18 days? It don't favor your family too, in Jesus' name. Tell us. You can still very much share this broadcast, okay? We haven't even started. As people will say, Baba.
Many people are in the bank because many people are dying. Everything are doing. Pressure ti wà. Mbazo Yorùbá. Gbogbo nǹkan ṣẹlẹ̀ ń lu yìí. Pressure ti wà. Èyí gbogbo ṣe sọ. sẹ́yìn ìlú lé ẹ̀ fún wa lówó wa ànáwó ẹ̀ wá sọ wá di lazy youth náà ẹ̀ sọ wá di lazy youth òun ni mo wà ní táìmù yìí tí mi ò lè lọ bí iṣẹ́ kò sówó kò èmi kọ́.
ọlọ́pàá tí ń darí bá ayé ìṣúra jù aṣòfin tí ń rúfin òwò ayé ìṣúra jù.
ṣó ti gbà tiẹ̀ Yorùbá ronú, ṣó ti gba káàdì tiẹ̀? Have you collected your own Yorùbá ronú card? Because this whole thing, you may have a way out. I just thought I should tell you. Thank you. So good morning to you once again. Good afternoon to you. And good evening to you as well from wherever you are watching from. Okay? This is Mayegun live. Pressure day. Tension day. There are two lives that Nigerians, especially the Lagos Abobakus, Oshogbo Alimajiris, the crumb eaters, the crumb chasers, the ass lickers, the all-risers, including their uncles and aunties abroad, the historical one, of course, the Mumumadus, the Bele lecturers, the obedient, the Agbad, well, they call them Agbadomites, but you obedient, who are fighting the battle of your life, as you will say, Mekanaiti, and the rest of us, the Biafrans, the Oduduwans, and as much as every camp you belong to today. The Shege that Bokuwari's APC, Egbekegbe, unleashed for 8 years. The dead bodies still the road. We haven't really packed them finished. We haven't even started packing them. And Tinubu happened. But there are sentiments that came with all of this. I mean, expectedly. After the killings, after the attacks, after the tribal profiling, ethnic profiling, including the never seen before, well, have you never seen it before? No, we have seen it before. Anyway, rigging Shah. Yeah? Baba. The religious persecution, the religious division, and all of the dirty things they threw into their 2023 charade. Nigerians who condemned so many of these things. Nigerians, many of them, not all of them, many of them who were indeed disenfranchised by this organized crook or organized criminals. They started changing their tones immediately after Mumudu Yakubu, Mr. Fraudster, announced Pablo Jagabandits, Escobar as your president. So they started saying, maybe now God wanted him. Maybe God chose. Some are even saying now God chose him. Forget about everything will happen. If God didn't say he will be president, all of that thing, it will still fail. They say, well, God, and you know what? I know all of you, you are expecting him to fail anyway. A lot of you are already praying that it's going to fail. Nigeria is going to get bad. So Nigerians, they started this common mental saying, and that is, may Nigeria, may Tinubu's government favor me and my family. All of you will want Nigeria to bad. All of you that say Nigeria will be worse, now only you and your household, go they feel am in Jesus' name. Because I don't know what to tell you, all of you people. Election have come and gone. Let's move on and build Nigeria and come together and support Tinubu. Forget about all of this, Let's move on. And if you think that Tinubu is going to fail, in Jesus' name, Tinubu is going to favor my family. Now, you know what people are now saying, right? When Tinubu now started making announcements and the propaganda of Emefiole, have you noticed that Their newspapers in Nigeria, they are already presenting Emefiole as the reason why corruption became monumental under Buhari. I don't know if you have been noticing yet. If you have not, pay attention. Okay? They have started the propaganda of making Emefiole the reason why your naira to dollar, the reason why your economy crashed, the reason why you went into recession 67 times. They didn't even tell you. Sure, you know that. Some are saying, Baba, which one is they didn't tell? Nigeria is still in recession. They are just telling themselves whatever they want to hear, whatever they want to tell themselves, or whatever they kind of love to hear. The whole statistic, the poverty around, Baba, you need to see it face to face. That's what people tell me. Mayegun, you need to see the abject poverty, the struggle of people in Nigeria right now. Sure, you get. I was like, then what happened to Tinubu? May Tinubu succeed. May Tinubu Nigeria favor me, because listen, I don't know how old some of you are watching me right now from Nigeria, okay? Let's say you are young, okay? Take 8 years out of your age, so as for you to know the impact of what they have done to you. That you are in what you are right now. That Boko Haram are paying ransom, collecting ransoms, kidnapping and killing. They are now walking around the clock. That na Emefiole Kosam, no be Buhari. All the money stolen by Malamu and the rest of them, it wasn't Buhari, na Emefiole. They just found 30 bags of money in his house. They just found another 100 trillion naira inside the jerry can. I don't know if you have been noticing that yet. No. Okay. Don't worry. The old ganging and the old game, the lies, may they favor you. It's been 18 days. And that is why I actually make this, the rider for this broadcast, a question kind of like, how has it been favoring you? You know what people are now saying in Nigeria? They are saying, when they say, oh, there is subsidy has been removed. Sure, you get. And they say, yes, remove it. Remove it. It's corruption. It's, just remove. And please, President Tinubu, please help us invest that money to help the poor. The Mumuso, in their mind, they are supporting an idea that Tinubu considered is to help them, the poor people. Now, listen. So when the price when the price is kind of skyrocketed as it is right now everybody they buy them. Whether you are APC or PDP, whether you are a Christian or a Muslim, it doesn't matter anymore. If you want to survive in Nigeria today, you must adjust to the new reality. Now, the people that said, yes, remove it, it's corruption. You know what I mean? Like they did with Buhari. They are now kind of, wondering when is going to be that promise of them not feeling the effect of that removal. So what people are now saying is that, you know something, may the effect of subsidy removal not affect me and my family. In Jesus' name. He came out, he announced a scam called student loan. Currently at the federal universities in Nigeria, or federal colleges and what have you in Nigeria, they charge students what they call maintenance fee, something like that. Not tuition, school fees. So, sure you get. Student loan. You can collect student loan and just go to school, everybody. But we are going to start a bank first. And that bank is going to provide the loan for you according to the availability of money from central bank. But they didn't have that in the first place. But what they did was that you can now go back to school. You can go to school and do all of that. When we started digging, we realized that there is no tuition in federal universities or colleges in Nigeria. Sure you get. Which means their education is federal government of Nigeria subsidized education for Nigerians who goes to either unity school or federal colleges and universities. So why those who have been like in state universities or private universities and the rest of them felt like, okay, what does this even mean? How do we get the money? How much do we get? They now said, this government cannot fund education anymore. Have you heard that? After student loan. Yeah, we can no longer fund education anymore. So what happened now is that if you want to get education, you have to pay for it. But don't worry. You can go and borrow money to pay for it. Do you get that now? Like, so they will then have to come out and say, okay, for you to continue your education in that Unilagi, in that your OAU, in that your OOU, and other federal universities around Nigeria, for you to continue, it's now going to cost you 450,000 naira per semester. Shebi money day government, abi? Is that not what student loan is meant for? Go and borrow now, abi? You are a student. What else would they need? Baba no be so. What would then happen is this. According to student loan weary that they are parading, it is easier to become the president of Nigeria than to actually access that student loan. Does that not sound like Abba, Mayegun, Abba, Okay. Now so now they do. For your eyes right now, I am a negative person who wanted to make them look bad to you. Abi? 8 years, 8 kidering years, 8 bonboron years. Now so some mumus, they will camp on Mayegun's diary politico. They will be telling me, when I am telling them about the fraud Boko Haram is, the scam and the terrorist that he is, they will camp on Mayegun's diary politico. They will be telling me, why are you negative? Today, now Tinubu they chase Boko Haram criminals now. And that is the breaking news in Nigeria that they are currently celebrating. The same mumu for 8 years. So I may be the bad person. We won't use mouth, spoil them for you. I just told you, it is easier to become president of Nigeria. With that, to access the student loan in Nigeria. Now, this may sound pedestrian, sounds so simple. Abi, ma tell you, now layman language, to access the loan, it simply means you must be very poor. Like you must be very poor. Sure, you want me to describe the poor? You must come from a very poor home. Sure, you get. Now, may I describe them? The very poor home means in your entire household, your mama, your papa, or anybody with the earn money inside your household, you must be earning at least something under 500,000 naira. So if you now use 500,000 naira ratio to divide what that means every month, are you following me? It can come down to something around 47 to 50,000 naira. No, 37 to 40,000 naira. So it means, now you are watching me right now, okay? Now let's just do that, the math. So you must be very, very poor. There are people who are earning 20,000 in their household. There are people who are earning 30,000 naira in their household. But do you know something, You may begin to argue as a typical Nigerian, you'll come back later. And then, you see those households where their total money they make every month, past 20,000 or 30,000 naira. They know they go university. You can prove me wrong. In Nigeria of today, if you see any household that is any 30,000 naira, they know they go university. You know why? They are those who are like, if they don't go out every day, they will starve and they will die. No joke. I don't want to know what they are doing, You know yourself. You are watching me right now. You are nodding your head. Abi? Because to gain access to federal university abi colleges, to be able to pay for everything that has to do with that your education, the cheapest is to go to federal university or go to federal colleges. Are you listening? That's the cheapest. Others are go to state or go to teaching college and the rest of them. In today's Nigeria, you must be willingly ready to part with over 100,000 naira every semester for any cheapest education you want to get as higher education. This is not even secondary school. Even secondary school, children are dropping out. What do you think caused the increased number of out-of-school children in Nigeria? When they talk about poverty, the children dropping out of school, begging, or some of them working as casual laborers, underage children who are supposed to be in school. The number is no longer in the north alone. It's everywhere. Southern Nigeria, we are now increasing the children that their parents can no longer feed, that they have to work like adults. Education, that be education, bao. Today, those are the people in that bracket. They cannot part with 100,000 naira. Forget it. In their millions. So, which means, in your own thing, you will say, and then they can just go and collect the loan now. They will now go and look for level 12, what do you call it? Level 12 civil servants in Nigeria. So that civil servant, as well as maybe na chief, na cleric, you been your bishop or be pastor, you shall bring somebody, they are your guarantors. Now, what they are signing is that if somehow you no pay back the 250,000 naira school fees, accommodation is not there where you are going to stay. All the education material that you are going to, they are not there. This is like if school fees is now 200,000 naira. So go to if you finally fulfill all of that, go to the bank to collect 200,000 naira for this semester or session, and they will pay it to your school. Now, if from whatever money you are making, that 30,000 naira, you will agree that you will begin to pay back when you find job after 2 years. Okay? But if you fail to pay back, your guarantors, they will be the one to pay back the money. But let us be honest. I mean, let's be real. Let's be for real. Okay? This condition, tell me how popular it is going to help millions of people who are earning 40,000, 30,000 naira in their household every month. Tell me how it's going to build confidence in a civil servant that is earning maybe 60,000, 70,000 naira a month. To now say this is going to improve mass funding for education. No, Abi. No, Abi. Okay, it's okay. Surely the other part of if you don't pay back, you go to jail and the rest. Currently, the law says the court can decide how long you can spend in jail for not paying back. You know what Nigerians are when it comes to money. I'm not saying there are no good Nigerians who are going to willingly sign it. I say, bring it, let me sign it for you. But when they know that they are going to pay in 4 years, you are going to need maybe 2 million naira for school fees alone. Okay? And if you don't pay back, now then go hold. Now you and your guarantor go jail. It's part of the condition. No. Listen. And if you have actually committed any crime before, Shongbo, like you have been arrested for any crime at all, for fraud or anything at all, as a student, you cannot apply for the loan. Like you cannot. But do you know that in Nigeria, this issue of Tinubu forfeiting $460,000 US to the American DEA, narcotic, for heroin trafficking, drug trafficking, abi. Shebi na the thing where they caught be that, abi. Currently, fine. Ma give you the latest. When I said it is easier to become Nigeria president than to access the education loan, student loan that Kolu announced. Share you guys this. So by law, if you have committed a crime before, you cannot access the loan as a student. Forget it. And by law as well, in that same Nigeria, the current Chief Justice of Nigeria ruled not too long ago on the issue of a forfeiture. It was like, if a court ruled that you should forfeit some of your properties or something, it is this Ariwola Chief CJN, he ruled that if you forfeit anything as a proceed of this, it must be because of conviction for a crime. Sure, you understand? Which is very easy. Any crime you committed that they say you should government take part of your resource or your property. It is simply like they didn't want you to go to jail. They gave you option like, would you go to jail or you just part with some of your properties to avoid jail? So anything that has to do with forfeiture means it is criminal. But you know also that in that same ruling or in Nigeria, they said if you have been committed for any crime, apart from murder, if you have been convicted for any crime, drug trafficking, corruption, money laundering, human trafficking, and all those things, even if you go to jail for it, or you didn't go to jail, you forfeited your properties for it, after 10 years, that crime is no longer on your record. Do you want me to repeat that? If you have committed any crime in any part of the world, whether you went to jail for it or government took some part of it, maybe you paid fine to avoid jail, you forfeited something to government. This current CJN ruled that forfeiture simply means a replacement for jail, and going to jail means you have committed a crime. So therefore, you have no right to run for public office until after 10 years. So whatever that crime is, after 10 years, you can contest and run to be president of Nigeria. But after, whether not 20 years old, whether not 30 years old you are, whether not 40 years old you are, you want to go for education or to access the student loan in Nigeria, once you have a criminal record, you are completely cancelled. Now, does that make sense to you now? That it is very easy and simple to run for president of Nigeria as a criminal than to access the student loan, to access education in Nigeria. Good luck with that. So when that announcement is made, I hope you'll be able to tell yourself, may this announcement also favor my family. So they announced, here is another gamble that they have also sold to you. And that is, the Central Bank of Nigeria said all banks in Nigeria should go ahead and sell Forex at their own price. And that is, they can sell dollars and all of that. They can sell them at their own exchange rates. So here is their expectation. Sure, you get what caused the Naira crash in the first place. I'm sorry for that blinking, okay? Let me do something. Let me put something up, a quick one, okay? And see if the blinking can, in a little way, reduce. I apologize for that, okay? So, yeah, it's not going to really take long. And the moment it comes back on, we will continue. So thank you so much for that. You know, say, me, I no be economist. I no go economic university. I no get any degree or anything inside, any paper certificate when it comes to economy. There are people who are experts. And that is why you would expect that the experts who know the best were those in charge of your monetary policies in Nigeria. and no cover up. The danger of what they were digging with their corruption could easily have been prevented when professionals feel like, sorry, people like say, I get one Olori Bruku yell. What happened? All my people will get spanner for hand. They hear something, somebody they shout on Malay Yoruba on YouTube. What happened? Let me know if not wrong. Maybe he's addressing that to somebody else. So if you see any Olori Bruku again, people will get spanner. African Wahala. Princess, I beg, we need to decontaminate the room, okay? They are going to jump here tonight. And indeed, for those who were younger 8 years ago, now all these Olori Brukus who also said the same thing under Bokuwari for 8 years. Today, Nigeria is in the gutters. Nigeria is in the gutters. And they are repackaging the lies again. And they are repackaging the gaslighting again. So if you see them, knock them that spanner quickly. Don't give them any benefit of the doubt, okay? They are everywhere. The propaganda machine that is being reeled out is the kind, that those who are suffering, those who are actually feeling the brunt of what I'm talking about, those who are in Nigeria right now, the real victims, they are those who are going to be told on social media to kind of feel like maybe it's not as bad. Nigeria is going to be better. But once the camera is off, they go back to their miserable lives. You understand what I mean? When they actually have to deal with the real life situation, consequences of their shearies that have they are the luckiest anyway, the politicians. So if you see them, don't give them any kind of a room, okay? They can do all their madness on Facebook. At some point, we'll clean that place too. When you see them, knock them that spanner. I want to see them. Maybe we see the sign that they are gone. I remember that. Bokuwari under Emefiole, Emefiole under Bokuwari, they started the depletion of the source of Nigeria Forex. By law, it is the central bank of the country that will provide the Forex. And under that, by that authorization, right, by that kind of, power, the Central Bank of Nigeria can, at the same time, issue licenses to banks to further kind of a source for their Forex if they have to. If they have to, banks in Nigeria will make business or make a sort of a deals, huge stuff with other businesses abroad. And in the process, they make with their profit and everything that comes on, right? Kind of influence and help them to increase their own Forex earning and all that. That's how it should be. But when Bokuwari and his thieves came in and they started the round tripping, whereby they were using 1984 exchange, Naira to dollar exchange rates. Others were busy depleting the crude oil sale in Nigeria. At the end of the day, Nigeria just the answer oil producing country. But the crude oil money, nobody sees anything. So which means, as the money was supposed to be coming into the cover of Nigeria through the Central Bank of Nigeria, it was going into the cover of private people, criminals. A lot of them that you are shearies who are going to be like, you are just like crickets everywhere. Shut up your mouth. Now go and use Yoruba Ronu now to go and buy a cheaper gas, cheaper food. Go and pay for cheaper transportation. And Yolori Bruku Adoru Motito, they call them. No, Adoru Motito. We know that waiting that they give you, waiting they chop right now, is what majority of you know, but it's all right. But I have told you, leave that fantasy world and come to that real life now. What you're actually facing right now. Go. How much is is one piece of egg? How much is the crate of egg? How much is mudu of gari, rice, and the rest of that? What is it right now with your lives? Anyway, we're coming back to that. They created that venue. Nigeria have no money. Nigeria was selling things, but the money was going into the pocket of criminals. So which means Nigeria was not producing anything else that is any Nigeria forex. So they were relying on all of us abroad. Mo will send money, send dollars, send pounds, send money, send your money through Naira, and all of the other schemes that they put together. But because their intention is not actually to help Nigeria economy, greed and selfishness, the corruption in their blood didn't make them think that there are consequences or there will be consequences for their insatiable lust for free money. So they dried up the forex. Their family members, themselves, they were everywhere all over the world. They needed money, they needed dollars. Central bank became their piggy bank. When they ran the central bank dry, Naira could no longer take it anymore. It continued to take it, they call it a free fall. And that's what happened to Naira. So, if you now come around and say, we want to unify the exchange rates, and you that want to unify exchange rates, you know that you actually not, normally in a normal country, what will happen is you will then have to kind of pump out the legitimate forex in your reserve. You will push them out to the banks. Yeah? And then you will tell them, listen, we want to crash. Normally on our production, what should have happened there? In fact, now no go their economic route, okay? So what should have ordinarily happened to help kind of a crash dollar or naira to dollar, naira to pounds, and all of those things? May I tell you? Not by giving money, okay, to the banks and all that. What you need to do would have been, you would have looked into your manufacturing industry. You would have looked into some major industries, that you know that if you pump money into them, you look at those who are in those industries, running those businesses that are struggling, whether not taxes. For example, you're like multiple taxations. You get what I mean? Everybody is taxing everybody. For any, if you put one small table outside that you want to start a business, like a 50 different group will come to you and say you have to pay tax to them. So at the end of the day, they will hit that business and kill that business eventually. So if you want to now help your economy, really help your economy, yeah, if you want to put money anywhere, number one, the money will have to go into the hand of people. Well, put it this way. Number one, you see that multiple taxation that take all of their profit away, that will continue to discourage them from expanding. You know, when you don't expand, you can't think of employing people. It's a very simple economic theory. Sure, you know now. The one we will read for home economics at economics, primary school and secondary school. You understand? So what you would have done was, as a country, for let's say entertainment industry, manufacturing industry, what else? So that comes manufacturing industry, and you say we are going to give them in naira. Now naira you won't give them. We want to pump in 1 or let's say 2 trillion naira into manufacturing industry. So if you are into any manufacturing, whether on a big scale, small scale, it doesn't matter. If you are producing something, we know that electricity is also eating into your profit, Abi. We will still come back to that and do something to improve that, okay? But we want to target you. And that would be, if you are into any manufacturing at all, you have access to interest-free loan if you plan to employ more people, and then now, if you plan to increase your production, employ more people, and possibly even thinking of expansion. So we have this package for you. We will cut down all the taxes, all right, that you have been paying, okay? And in our own way of giving back to you, that tax cut, will give you have access to at least 100 billion naira as a manufacturing company. If you can show us your plan and the number of people you can employ and the number of increased production. So when you put that money there, 2 trillion naira, and people could go there and take the money interest free. Whether you na cake you dey bake, and you need a proper industrial oven, but you can't afford it. That's why you are still using that small thing. Even despite the small thing you are using, the profit you cannot see. Access to small fund to help you improve your business, save you a little bit, keep you in business. A normal country who want to really help the people, they will put the money there. Whether na welder you they do. So when you put that money there are many people who can begin mass production, manufacturing. And at the same time, you can then target you have the population, Abi. You can begin to now push. You see, the more they are producing, the more people are working. They are those money you gave to them within a year. The more people are working, the more they will begin to pay taxes. And guess what? The more they are expanding, the businesses too, they will begin to pay the taxes. They will be happy to pay. Nigeria businesses are in distress right now, except the businesses owned by politicians in Nigeria. That's also a fact. But you see, this money of once production begin to improve, now that time you're gonna say, you know what, we actually need to improve this electricity generation and then distribution. There are law already that says everybody can generate their own electricity. Now you want to help those manufacturing companies so that they can continue to have electricity, Abi. What do? You dip money, you dip your hand into your naira again. And say any manufacturing company that is willing to go into power generation and distribution, they will have access to this amount of interest-free loan. Remember, you are a government. You have template of what a larger power plant is, what smaller power plant is, what medium of you want to use to generate the power. You are a government. You have all of that. Which of them are safe for the environment and all of that? What are the cost effective of this? But corruption in government that cannot go away immediately. You don't put the money in the hand of politicians by setting up committees, by giving appointments, by making pronouncements. No, that's not how it's done. Because at the end of the day, you are telling the banks to go and look for their dollars. Now, where do you think the banks are going to get the dollars from? So what they did with that gambling of unifying this or that is that with time, the banks will begin to have the dollars. A lot of people will begin to have all this and that. Without production, without increased production, without increase in things that actually keep people working. Where Naira becomes so strong. I mean, you know how Naira will become so strong? When all of these old places begin to spark up. And if a manufacturing company in your area just access a grant to build a power plant that will give the company, that will give that manufacturing company, it will give them 24 hours electricity, and they will even have enough to share with communities and other businesses in that axis. So when you put that money in their hand, no middlemen, no nothing, just go online, show that you have a business and you are paying tax. That's all you need. It doesn't matter where you are coming from. Northern Nigeria, Eastern Nigeria, West, it doesn't matter. People who really want to use money to employ people, not politicians. So when you put that money in their hand, they would then, you see, production, demand and supply will become so matched that all these productions will begin to spread and spread to the neighboring countries in Africa. What they are manufacturing in Ogbomoso, in a small space in Ogbomoso, can be so huge that it's also serving other markets outside Nigeria. And you know what that simply means is that it will begin to earn foreign exchange for Nigeria in a large and a massive, never seen before scale. So what do you do after that as a government? You improve standard, maintain it, and ensure that whenever, because what you are going to do after putting all of that money in their hands is that you just go and sit down and wait. Before you know it, a maker that is into furniture making, is now producing furnitures that can be compared to the same one you're going to pay millions of, hundreds of thousands of euros, dollars to bring to Nigeria from Italy, from Singapore, from all these places, because the same equipment that those who are in Singapore are using, a maker who knows nobody, whose only asset is his own talent. A maker has accessed loan as a businessman in Nigeria. No middleman, no, nothing about where he comes from, nothing about who a maker knows. Yeah, he's accessed that loan and he's put it into use. And here you are, a maker that is a single furniture maker in Onitsha is now the proud owner of a chain of furniture manufacturing company that has now employed other professional furniture makers who are producing and supplying not just to Nigeria. Now they are now exporting a maker's furniture straight to Italy, the place you used to go to or dream of, the Italian leather, the Italian Versace. When you put that money in their hand, you put value in their hands, they will make it happen. What will happen? The government will begin to take taxes from a maker. Government will begin to collect taxes from those who are working in a maker's business. Government will be taking business from those who are coming to come and buy business from a maker and taking them abroad. And before you know it, you will produce Abdullahi, Ayodele, a maker in their millions. Guess what? Government will begin to cash out. There will be so much money that you see today's corruption, the selfishness and greedy of these people, around that time, will probably not be so effective. Trust me, that is when you will know they really want to help you. But they are the economists. They are the most sensible. Shut up your mouth. Do you know their plan? Do you know they are already working on this already? Continue to live in your la-la land, and naira to dollar will crash in your dream. There are others. In this Tinubu's time favor you. I will leave the rest to you to tell me how much of those policies are already favoring your family. I be make a mind my business. Mind your own business, my yegun. Of course, now you they come here with you at the top because you know after this program you are still gonna go back and face the same thing Mayego is talking about. The one that you probably don't want to tell yourself. You know that kind of thing,
Now, this is a Monday morning. You can see how crazy the traffic is. You can see how crazy it is. This is Kara Bridge, all the way to Lagos. Productive hours, where people are supposed to go to work to go make money. You can see what's happening. It's so crazy. This is all of us on bike. We are in traffic, like standstill. We are not moving. Vehicles are not moving. And then you want this economy to be productive. It can't be. We are killing the economy. Look at people that are supposed to go to work. Look at, we are wasting productive hours. And everybody is stuck here. It doesn't make sense. Julius Berger, sincerely, it doesn't make sense. We just have to tell ourselves the truth. You are killing the economy. You are not helping the economy in any way.